Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Taproom Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Lats, joined with my man, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson. How you doing on this fine Sunday evening, Ben?
Doing well, man. Getting used to the new digs, getting used to the new breweries around here. I know it's only about 45 minutes north of where I was previous, but man, I got Alpha Acid right around the corner. I've got Fieldworks right around the corner. Spent some time at Fieldworks this morning, or sorry, not this morning, this week.
Early drinking, huh?
No, not this morning, but got to experience Fieldworks firsthand and not having to go up to Sacramento, which has been really nice. So definitely enjoying the new area, getting kind of to know all the new bartenders.
Digs.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly. It
Nice,
is fun.
man.
How you doing?
Good, man. I'm good. Great weekend. Interesting weekend of baseball.
Yep. Crazy weekend of baseball.
Saw a couple of good teams kind of start to stumble a little bit here, which we're going to get into in a little bit.
A lot of good teams stumbling.
Also got some interesting NFL tidbits as we kind of are back in the swing of things for the NFL. The Hall of Fame game happened, and we're going to get to NFL in a second, but drinking a nice... I'm actually not drinking a beer for the first one, but I'm drinking a nice little mead to cap off the little Sunday evening here as we head into Monday. Kids are starting school tomorrow, so that should be fun.
So early.
I know,
so
August 8th,
early.
right? But they get out like May like 14th or something.
Damn. Also, so early.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's crazy. And your little one's going for the first time, huh?
Kindergarten, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. She's going to love it.
Yeah.
She's going to hate it the first day or two, but she'll love it after that. So
I don't know if kids will hate kindergarten. I don't think anybody hates kindergarten.
Oh, they just hate leaving their parents. So
yeah.
That's the
dude,
thing.
I'm already ready for the phone call.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You need to come pick up your daughter. She's losing it. Dude.
It is gonna happen. But you did mention that you got something not golden sitting next to you, but
Not golden.
a good drink.
Golden.
There we go. Good drink sitting next to you. And so what we wanted to really do with this podcast is we wanted to be like we were sitting at a bar drinking a beer or a cider or a mead or a
just chilling,
and talking sports. And that was really the big emphasis behind this. So each week we are going to be reviewing and drinking a couple beers or a couple drinks, and trying to let you guys know what we think is a good beer and what we think you should go out and try for yourself. Maybe it's not a specific beer, but maybe it's a type of beer. I know I have a couple kind of oddity beers today that I grabbed for this week's show. Jordan as well. So
hell yeah.
We really just want you to get out there. We want you to, try these new drinks, beers, and, support your local breweries, support your local, bartenders, brewers, bottle shops. Just really try it out and give them some help.
Hell yeah.
In the process of enjoying a few drinks. So we're going to go with two different beers tonight. And I think one of my beers is can be found on Tavour, and tonight we are being sponsored by Tavour. So make sure to go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app. Use promo code Taproom when signing up and get $10 off your purchase of $25 or more. So, Jordan, let's start off with your first one, and then I'll follow up. And then about halfway through the show, we'll go to beer number 2.
Yep. My second beer is actually from Tavour. So
okay,
that one. Well, the thing about Tavour is you can't get beers like they're only on there once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta get it while it's there, or else you can't get it. But got that one from Tavour. My first one is a Newtopia cider company. They're out of San Diego. I've had a couple of their beers before. They do a lot of collaborations with breweries. But this is an apple mead with passion peach tea. And this is just from them. There's no collaboration on this one. First taste and like aromas and stuff, it's very appley. Like I don't even taste the peach or peach tea. I mean, maybe towards the end my palate will start to like differentiate the flavors, but first sip it really just tastes like an apple cider or cider, dude, like a hard apple cider.
Yep. What's the percentage on that one?
5%. So it's like a cool summer,
Okay.
not gonna get you completely trashed.
Yeah.
Type drink.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
What's your first beer?
All right, so my first one is from High Water Brewing Company, and this is out of Lodi, California. And this is called Boom Boom Out Goes the Light. And it's out goes. So it's a ghost style beer. And it is coming in with so it's coming in at 8.5%. So it's a little bit higher of a alcohol percentage that I normally see out of ghosts. And this is apple juice galangal root, which I looked up, and it is a kind of part of the ginger family. And then it has pink Himalayan sea salt in it. I've taken a sip, and as you know, from the first sip here, it kind of reminds me of all things coming out of Lodi, which is not that great. So I'm enticed to see where this goes, but so far I'm not the biggest fan. So
honestly, the first thing I was gonna ask you is, hold on, there's a brewery in Lodi?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's got cool can art. It definitely that's the initial thing that what really got me, on getting this beer was boom boom out goes the light.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
I thought the only thing there was in Lodi was fucking cows, dude. Go cow tipping.
Yeah, that's about right.
Man, good times. I thought it was like all retired folks out there. So yeah. I'm shocked to hear.
Or a little
yeah. Woo! Lodi, California. If y'all not from California, especially Northern California, you probably have no idea what we're fucking talking about right now. But go Google it. Lodi, California. Interesting place.
It won't take you more than a minute to
their
see
Wikipedia,
all the sights and sounds of Lodi.
Their Wikipedia page is probably really small. That's interesting. Where did you get that one? Did you get it from?
So no, this was a Total Wine.
Okay.
So went over to Total Wine, and that's also another stop that's right down the road, which is nice. And kind of hit some up for the next couple weeks. So I did not do a Tavour box this month, so I'm definitely got to be because of the whole move and everything, and
you never know where it's gonna get delivered to.
Exactly. So no Tavour box this month, but Total Wine right down the street.
There we go.
Yep.
All right, Ben, we got to hop into some sports, man, because God damn it, football is here, baby.
Football is back.
It is back. We had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday night. It was delayed by lightning. Very interesting. The Jaguars actually opened -1. Raiders closed -2, -2.5, depending on some books.
Yep.
And the over/under opened 33.5, got bet all the way down to 30.5.
Yep.
Obviously, it goes way over. It even goes over the opening number. So if you, and it was crazy for me because that was my first inclination, was like, I'm gonna bet the under, but I didn't get that 33.5. So I was like, well, I'm gonna take the over 30.5 because I didn't get that good number. So I'm just gonna bet the number and take the over 30.5. And man, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I was sweating. I was sweating it there in the fourth quarter. At halftime, 20-0, I was looking really good. I figured the Jags would have to get some kind of points on the board. But man, Josh McDaniels might be my favorite coach, Ben.
Yeah, he definitely has really changed the way that the Raiders are presenting themselves. You definitely see that New England Patriots type of offense here. And, I was surprised. You got 7 runs out of Josh Jacobs on 11 plays that he's in the game. That was a huge kind of emphasis on what they're going to be doing this year, on top of a QB that has potential to be a top 10 QB, a top third QB in the league.
Top
and Yeah, top half QB in the league, and then a couple pieces that they've added this year offensively that can really at least push them over to maybe beat the Chargers again in the season, in the
I don't know about that.
postseason there, yeah, in that wild card game. But it at least gives them a upside for this offense and a quick offense, man. What was
Yeah.
it like?
Well,
Uh, only 4 plays were snapped with less than 10 seconds on the play clock.
yeah. I mean,
It's a
that's
quick,
not why I like him as a
quick
coach.
offense. Well, no, I know, but it doesn't give the defense time to set, give the defense as much time to read, give the defense enough kind of time to make those those offensive reads to change things up. So I think it is a good move. I think it will be productive for them throughout the season.
You make good points, but I was more going, so they were up 20-3 with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and he went for it on 4th and 3.
Yeah.
I loved it, dude, because I needed that for the over, and they scored a touchdown and got 30 points right there, and then the Jaguars came back, scored a touchdown. But it also, if you're going to bet the preseason, like you look at that, and it's like, all right, Josh McDaniels is in this to win, regardless of whether it's preseason or regular season. And that's not like Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick doesn't even play starters in the preseason. You know what I mean? So very different from Bill Belichick, in my opinion. And that was kind of the reservation from a lot of people that were taking the Jaguars, was because they were like, oh, well, Josh McDaniels coaches under Bill Belichick. He's going to take the Bill Belichick approach and not really utilize preseason. But, man, him and Jim Harbaugh, both of those, I'm sorry, not Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, both play preseason games to win.
Yeah.
And that's something to look forward to if you're going to bet the preseason. Betting the preseason, man, is you can win some money. Like, there's money to be won in the NFL preseason.
Don't bet your house, your mortgage.
No, you got to be smart like you always have to be. But, that's it is winnable. After that game, though, did we see movement on the Raiders over under?
I don't think we did.
Where are they at?
Because
they're still at 8.5.
Yeah, they were supposed to win this game. So I don't think they won it bigger than they were supposed to. But it's still a Jacksonville team who did not impress me one bit
at all.
This game.
They were trash, bro.
And I think that's something that they really need to come out.
That is one big pile of shit
in this preseason. I mean, I know it's early. You still have the normal preseason games, but there really wasn't anything that showed me that this is going to be a team that was better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, dude, they looked out prepared. Like, they looked lost. And I know they didn't play Trevor Lawrence. I know they didn't play Travis Etienne. I know they didn't play like a lot of their starters.
Yeah.
However, like, the Raiders didn't either.
Yeah.
And the Raiders backups looked way more prepared, way more dominant. I do think, though, that the Raiders, they did start their offensive line, and their offensive line, pass protection didn't look too great. And that's the biggest concern about them. And they were going against Jaguars backups too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was another thing that kind of caught my eye. But again, it's preseason, dude. I'm not going to take a ton away from it right now. I think a lot of people, especially like on the internet and Twitter and stuff, like massively overreacting to training camp videos and news. But a very interesting piece of news came out this week, and that was that Matthew Stafford is dealing with elbow discomfort, which he was also dealing with last year at times. Sean McVay, head coach of the Rams, came out and said that they're going to monitor Stafford's workload and kind of not overwork him. Do you think, though, that this is cause for concern
Absolutely
going into the season?
This is coming out in the preseason. I mean, we haven't even had a preseason game yet for the Rams, and we're already starting to see him have a limited workload. And as we get deeper into the season, he's going to have to take games off if they're going to go for a deep run into playoffs. I mean, it getting used and flexed a little bit more may cause some of that tightness to release. That it is just a start of the year soreness, but since we were seeing this last year, that's what scares me a little bit.
We
Is
also
that
saw the market be affected by the news. Went from 1.5 on week 1 against the Bills. Bills were -1.5 favorites.
Mhm.
Now -2.5.
Wow.
Right after the news.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it more so scares me for later in the year when his arm is getting, has gotten worked for 10 weeks.
And this is what, 13th
and
year?
Yeah. And you still have 13th year or 14th year. Do you have 11 or 12 and
He was drafted in 2009. I think this is 13th year.
13th year? Yeah. So as you get through, week 10 and you've played some hard teams within their schedule,
Yep.
those last 7 games, they're going to be tough.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be tough for them. And that's when you need your QB at his highest level. And, that could cause a lot of worry if you're a Rams coach or Rams fan right now and coach.
Yeah. The Rams over-under is 10.5. And I've been saying all offseason that I really love their under. And not necessarily because of that. I didn't know that was happening. But the Rams have been like unusually lucky with injuries. Like they don't have key injuries really. Like last year they lost Robert Woods. Like that kind of hurt. Then they trade for Odell Beckham Jr. But for the most part, like they haven't lost key guys. And now they're getting older, Ben. Like this is an older roster at this point. So yeah. I definitely see some regression from this team.
Well, and look at that schedule too. You start with the Bills, and then you have a week off.
Brutal
with
schedule.
Atlanta. Then you go Cardinals, Niners, Cowboys, Panthers. Who knows what the Panthers are going to be? Week 7 bye, which is going to be beneficial to them. But then you come back from that bye, and you've got the Niners, the Bucks, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Chiefs, Seahawks, whatever in week 13. Raiders, who knows what they're going to be in week 14. But then you have the Packers, the Broncos, the Chargers, and then the Seahawks in week 18.
Tough schedule.
That's a tough schedule, and that's going to be a schedule where they are going to be having to use the long ball.
Yep.
And
last year I shouldn't say that they don't have like a lot of key injuries, but last year they obviously were working back Cam Akers, and their run game was never really all there, right?
Yeah.
And if they don't have that run game this year, Ben, they're gonna have to rely on Stafford throwing the ball again. And I think last year he threw more pass attempts than he ever had in his entire career.
Yeah, and a nagging shoulder injury isn't going to just go away, especially if you're throwing more than you've ever thrown before. Yep. So, I mean, I definitely think that they'll rely on the run a lot more this year because they've got Sony Michel.
Well,
and
I mean, that's
Cam Akers healthy.
Ultimately that's what McVay wants to do, though.
Yeah,
he wants to run the ball first and foremost. But if they can't do that, it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an issue. All right, let's move on to before we get to the last really piece of note, Kareem Hunt requests a trade today. Obviously wants a new contract. I don't know whether this is like big news, small news, medium news. The Browns basically said we're not going to trade you, so here you are. Yeah. I don't think it's really going to affect him all that much.
Well, I think a lot of this does. And I mean, I know you've been mentioning that he wanted a new contract, but I think also, as you're bringing in Watson, he is a very mobile quarterback. With Hunt being the number 2 there, is he going to get that much time?
Oh, yeah, he'll still be their third down back regardless.
Yeah, but he's going to be their third down back. But a lot of the time, are they really going to go to Hunt, or are they going to go to Watson?
Well, I mean, you don't want Deshaun Watson running all that much. If he's running, that means your offensive line isn't doing their job. Because Deshaun Watson's more of a drop back quarterback.
Yeah, but you got to think too. It's the Browns. They're going to be like giddy over this, this signing that they have. And
Stefanski's not gonna. I mean, yeah, he'll get him out on bootlegs. So I don't think he's gonna like throw a lot of designed runs in there. You don't want your quarterback getting hit, dude. We've been talking about Lamar Jackson for like 3 years. Like, what's gonna happen? He can't continue to do that. And last year he gets hurt. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have your quarterback running the ball like that. Like, it's just you're putting him into all these crazy hits, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're just putting him in. It's not.
I mean, he
don't
didn't
know.
play last year, so he's got a year of hits off his belt. So he can take a little more this year, and he probably is being in Cleveland. So
True. And he's gonna be out at least 6 games.
Yep.
NFL is appealing. I don't know if they're gonna win the appeal, but fuck, I really didn't want to talk about Deshaun Watson, but I mean, we haven't discussed it, since everything came down. Like, what do you think is going to happen with this? Do you think he's only going to be out 6 games? And how do you think that affects the Cleveland Browns?
I mean, I think it completely affects Cleveland Browns because who are they going to put
Brissett.
behind? Yeah,
He's serviceable.
he's serviceable, but can he be your go-to for
He just got to get you 3 and
6 straight
3, though.
games?
He just got to get you 3 and 3. If he gets you 3 and 3, you're looking good with Deshaun Watson coming back. Because, I mean, that's a talented defense. They have talent on offense. They could run the hell out of the football. You know what I mean? That's what they do well. So, I mean, they're not asking Jacoby Brissett to really do a ton. Like, if Deshaun Watson were to play 16 or 17 games, like, they're the most talented team in that division, in my opinion.
Well, I think a good thing is that they're lucky with the schedule that they have. Week 1, Carolina. Week 2, Jets. Week 3, Steelers, Falcons, Chargers, and then Pats. So they're going to lose to the Patriots. They're going to lose to the Chargers.
They may lose to the Panthers on the road.
They may lose to the Panthers. I mean, to be honest, who knows what this Jets team's going to look at is in
The
the second
Jets,
year.
I mean, reports coming out of and again, I don't want to react to training camp stuff, but the reports coming out is that the offense does not look good.
Yeah. Yep. Steelers are going to be a huge question mark. Atlanta's going to suck. So, I mean, they have the potential to win 3 games, but can they win 3 games with Brissett?
The thing about
I
the
don't know.
Steelers, though, Ben, is they're always good.
Yeah.
Like, even when we count them
that
out,
defense is
exactly. Mike
is
Tomlin,
top level. So
Mike Tomlin, who former co-host of ours, fucking swears is not a good coach.
Yeah.
He shall not be named.
yeah. Well, he's just a hater anyway. So
Exactly. All right, let's talk about the most important football news though of this week, and that is Aaron Rodgers coming out and saying that ayahuasca.
Is this really the most important football news?
Oh, without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt, this is not only important football news. This is important world news, dude. Because, dude, psychedelics are special, and I'm not telling people to like go out and take a ton of psychedelics, dude. Like, you got to be in a controlled environment and stuff, and like understand what you're doing. But Aaron Rodgers comes out and says that ayahuasca like opens his mind, clears it, allows him to, really focus and think the bigger picture and stuff. I mean, I think it's great, dude. I loved it. I love that he came out and said it, and I love that all the mainstream media is just like saying how irresponsible he is and he's not a good leader and all this shit.
Well, I mean, I for the statement that you just made is part of the reason why I see it as a little bit irresponsible. You just said you have to be in the right mindset. You have to be, kind of knowledgeable of what's going on within, with the situation. And he mentioned that the first time that he did it, it was completely on a whim, without knowing what it was, without, doing that kind of that having that background knowledge of it. And to see that the first time that he did it was with Danica Patrick and another big sports figure in our
I mean, when's the last time
she
hasn't driven a sports car in a minute, but
well, yeah, but at that time she had. But I mean, it's just it's definitely not for everyone. I think it's something that
it's because people
obviously
fear
you have
the
to be
unknown,
careful of.
Ben.
Absolutely. I've never done it. I don't plan on doing it, and but that's because I know where my mind can go, and it's just I just don't think it's a good look for a person on a platform to put that out there. I mean, do what you will, whatever it is
I mean,
you're gonna do.
that's
But
why I respect
look
it
how many
because
kids, but look how many kids look up to Aaron Rodgers and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go try an Esco now," and like
sports
they're fucking
sports
12, you know?
athletes. Okay, first let me say this. The reason why I respect Aaron Rodgers for saying it is because it is against a norm, and there already is a mob mentality of like anti-drugs in this country because of the
Yeah.
war on drugs and like the history of the war on drugs in this country. But now there's already tons of medical research showing that a lot of psychedelics, mushrooms being the main one, they really benefit, especially mental health.
It's it's in a
Microdosed.
well, yeah, but in a controlled environment.
Yeah, but you can't.
What he's saying is definitely not in a controlled
He
environment.
was chilling at his fucking cottage in Hawaii. You know, that's probably the
No,
best
he was
controlled
in
environment.
Mexico.
Mexico. That's probably the best controlled environment there is.
No.
Man, the
Picking
thing,
it up from somebody who knows you gave it to him,
the my point being is that I think that there needs
not
to
knowing what he was taking to.
there needs to be more conversation and
Oh, agreed.
open
It has
mindedness.
its-
I mean, Ben, 20 years ago, if a guy came out and said, I smoke weed, he would be looked at as the devil.
Absolutely.
But now it's like more widely accepted because we
Well,
know
and,
it's not
look in-
like a
Look
drug.
at football right now. Even 5 years ago, a guy who came out and said I smoke weed got banned from the NFL. You know, now you have somebody who had 26 counts of sexual assault, albeit not criminal, is getting suspended for 6 games. So you definitely see the level of acceptance in something, that now with Rogers coming out and saying that he's done psychedelic drugs, and he's not going to have any repercussions saying that he's done, these drugs. So to see
Well, I
the
mean,
level,
the average
of,
American doesn't even know where to find ayahuasca, first of
that's
all.
true. That's true. But like to see the progression of, someone who's tested positive for marijuana, and then now somebody who's saying that they've done psychedelics, like even just in the last 5 years, you can see that progression of where we're going from. And I do agree, psychedelics are medically a very good benefit to where we need to go for some of the
Well, I mean, there's
emotional and
there's states that are already in the process of legalizing a lot of
Yep.
them.
yeah. But again, it has to be in that controlled environment, and that's where I'm a little bit just off.
Yeah, but that's the
offline
thing.
with this.
If it's mainstream and it's being more talked about, and it's obviously you're gonna get more educated. You know, there's people not there. People aren't going out and educating you on psychedelics because right now it's illegal. So
Yeah.
the only education people are getting on it is don't do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's very little studies. I can tell you that in my line of work, there's very little study of psychedelic drugs and what its effect is on the human brain. It's starting to, but it's not.
Well,
Quite there
dimethyltryptamine was banned by the U.S. government because the studies they were doing in the 50s and 60s were showing people getting more intelligent as they grew on.
Yeah, well,
And
U.S. government studies are not necessarily the best.
But
You have to
no,
look
that's
at
why they
educational
legalized it
studies,
though.
and health related studies are more focused there. It's not quite there yet. Are we starting to see the benefits? Absolutely. It's something that we will be moving forward and will have a great benefit to mental health and some of the mental diseases that we have in our society.
Ben, our ancestors have been doing psychedelics since they were living in caves.
Yeah, and a lot of our ancestors are batshit crazy. So,
Well, I don't know what our ancestors were like back then. I never met them. But if you give me
neither have I. Yeah,
if you give me the Back to the Future car, we go find out.
let's do it. Let's do it.
But I mean, we've progressed as humans to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it obviously wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But no, nonetheless, I mean, I thought it was pretty interesting that he would come out and say that. And like I said,
Definitely interesting.
I lightweight respected him for it. Just because, like, you know, you said it of who he is and stuff. And like, dude, the mainstream media ripped him apart this week, Ben. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't even, dude. I bet we could go search Tucker Carlson. I bet you spent 30 minutes talking about it.
I'm sure.
You know, but at one point he loved Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers wasn't vaccinated. So you know, it is what it is. Everyone's got different thoughts on different days.
Yep.
Should we take a break before we get to MLB and?
Yes, please, because this beer's kind of trash.
He's tossing it. He is tossing it.
Yep.
That is one big pile of shit.
I got through half.
All right, let's take a break real quick, and then we'll get back in here and we'll talk. We got a lot of MLB to talk about, so definitely stay locked with us. We will be right back. Yes. Thank you for hanging out. We are back with a vengeance. We got a lot of Major League Baseball to talk about. But first, we got to talk about this second beer because, Ben, you did not like that first beer.
I did not. It's been a long time since I've had a pour out beer, and it happened. It definitely happened. But, you know, that doesn't mean that it's going to be bad for everybody. I just didn't necessarily like the beer. So It is time to get into our beer number 2. We both kind of have a dessert beer going for tonight. Jordan, I see that you're pouring yours. So I'm going to start with, with mine. And this is from the brewery, which comes out of Placentia, California.
I love that
And this
place.
is the banana nut muffin. So this is an imperial stout coming in at 8.1%. It's got banana, walnut, and vanilla in it. So looking forward to this one. It's going to be a dessert beer. Hoy vey, looks like motor oil.
Whew.
It is dark and it is thick.
Those ones are always fun.
Definitely going to be an interesting beer.
So my second beer, I'm drinking the Slang du Jour. It's an apricot shortbread cookie sour a la mode. This is from Drecker Brewing Company. So this one I did get off of Tavour.
Lactose?
I don't think so. It just says contains a significant amount of fruit. So it's a pale 2-row oat malt with Hallertau Blanc hops. And, like, dude, there's just hella shit in here.
Hell yeah.
So this should be interesting. Apricot shortbread. Never had apricot shortbread in my life. So this should be fun. There's a lot of, like, gunk in here, but as you can see, a lot of fresh fruit, though, they say in the beer. So we'll see what it tastes like. Should be all right.
There we go.
It is what it is. We'll get there. Let's talk some MLB, though, Ben.
Yep.
Let's talk some Major League Baseball. So
crazy week.
Very crazy week. We were on Tuesday night, kind of recap the MLB trade deadline and everything that kind of went down. And one of the trades, or the biggest trade, was Juan Soto going to the Padres. Also, they acquired Josh Hader, and they acquired Brandon Drury from the Cincinnati Reds. And they are 1-3. Or 1-4, I'm sorry. 1-4 since
today.
Juan Soto played.
Yeah.
Technically 2-4 since the trades, but none of those guys played the first game they won.
Yeah.
1-4 since they've played. We haven't even seen Josh Hader yet because, the Padres just got outscored 20-4 in 3 games against the Dodgers, and then they lost, 10-3 against the Rockies, and they beat them 10-2. So a lot of blowouts.
9-1 and then lost 7-3. So
9-1, 7-3, and then they get fucking boat raced by the Dodgers for 3 games.
Yeah. And then they go into San Francisco, which
San Francisco goes to them.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So now they have 3 against San Francisco. So that's going to be an interesting matchup here. I mean, they're definitely well above San Francisco in the standing wise, but the way that they're playing right now, is going to be interesting to see how this series plays out. And you got to say, San Diego is only up by, they're up by 7 games, 6.5. A sweep by San Francisco can definitely change the makeup of this.
Well, first of all, the Giants aren't sweeping anybody but the A's.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, let's not. And they got lucky that they faced 2 spot starters for the A's, 2 guys that don't normally ever pitch.
We'll see.
Nah, the Padres are a much better team, dude. The Giants are not a good team, Ben. I'm sorry.
I know.
They're not.
I've got dreams and hopes, man.
They absolutely butchered the trade.
And I know you had dreams and hopes that the A's were going to beat the Giants this weekend, and that didn't happen. So
I just wanted one, dude. But going into the weekend matchup, Adam Oller and Martinez pitching, I was like, dude, our chances are very slim. If we had Cole Irvin or Kaprelian pitching, it would be a little bit different because those are actually 2 decent pitchers. Yeah. But it is what it is. That's where it's at. And the A's offense is just, it's atrocious, dude.
Yeah.
They've been better, dude. Today they scored 4 runs. You can't expect to win ball games when you fucking give up 6 runs. It's not going to happen. But no, I don't see the Giants winning 3 against the Padres. If it were to happen, it would be absolutely crazy. And that would just be the Padre thing, dude.
Happening.
The Padres Padre.
Yeah.
That's just what they do. And I said that the trade deadline, Ben, I said on that show, I've been seeing it, getting Juan Soto and Brandon Drury is awesome, dude. But they have to win 8 to 7 ball games, and if they're not scoring 7 runs, they don't have a chance.
Yeah,
or 8 runs because their starting pitching is not good.
Yeah. Well, I think I mean, the whole Fernando Tatis thing too. Like, is he going to come back? I mean, he's definitely taking strides.
He played in Double-A last night.
Okay.
And he went 0 for 2 with 2 walks.
Okay.
So he had four plate appearances, 2 walks, and then I don't think he struck out at all. He just didn't get on base. I mean, to be honest, like, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, that, along with Machado, like, that can be a incredibly dynamic offense. But one, they have to get Tatis back and into playing form, and everything has to work together with your it's going to be 3, 4, 5 batters there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it I think it eases Tatis in because he's not like subjected to like,
true.
Hey,
and
I need
takes
to
a little bit of time, or a
takes
little
hella
bit of
pressure off of him. Yeah,
Machado. Yeah,
it takes pressure off of Tatis, so it's more like, you're not going to be expected to go in and like hit 300 and hit for power and average and everything. Like, no, you can like work your way in. You know what I mean? And like just his presence alone in that lineup kind of changes everything.
Yeah.
So I think their offense is going to be okay, dude. Like, I don't expect them to score 4 runs in a 3-game series, dude. And honestly, tonight, like, they had a ton of bad luck, dude. I mean, they barreled some balls. They missed like 3 home runs by like 2 feet. You know what I mean? And in most other ballparks, like, those are gone. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be fine offensively, bro.
Yeah,
they'll be okay.
It's just tough to go into your division rival, to go into what your measure.
I mean, they're like 2-19 against the Dodgers in like the last year and a half, dude.
I know, but they're spending that much money. They're going to have to play them in the playoffs eventually.
First, they gotta beat in the wild card round, dude.
That's true. But assuming that they're going to do that, to go in and lose, 20-4 over the weekend.
Well, think about it like
series.
this though, Ben. Just think about this real quick. I know it's harder to like in baseball to like kind of place yourself standings wise, but I would probably rather be the 3rd wild card team than the 2nd or 1st.
Why?
Because
I'd rather be the 1st wild card team, because then you don't have a 1-game playoff.
No, because I don't want to play the Braves. If I'm one of those wild card teams, like, I don't want to I'd rather play the fucking Brewers or the Cardinals or the Brewers than the Braves.
Yeah, but they're not going to. I mean,
because the Braves have a better record than the Braves will have a better record than whoever wins the NL Central.
Sorry, I'm pulling up standings right now, but the Braves can definitely take that.
They're not winning the division at this point. They lost that chance this weekend. The Mets just own the Braves this year, dude. Like, it's similar to the Dodgers and Padres. Like, the Dodgers own the Padres and the Mets own the Braves.
But but looking at the schedules, the Braves can still take that division. I mean, I know they're 6.5 games back. But the Mets are going to Mets. The Mets are like the Jets.
Are they, though? They're playing a lot better, dude. And DeGrom's back, and DeGrom looks like DeGrom. And that's pretty scary, dude. The Mets are for real.
That, then. Like, okay, so then the Braves take the wild card.
Yeah.
They're going to be the number 1 wild card seed.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to beat them.
So the Braves play the 2nd wild card team, and then the worst division winner plays the last wild card team.
No, I thought it was the bottom 2 wild cards play the 1-game playoff to play.
No, it's a first round series. The first 2 seeds get a bye in the first round. So there's a wild card round, then there's a division round, and then the championship round. So the first 2 seeds get a bye. So in the NL, the Mets and Dodgers would have a bye right now in the first round. And then the Padres would play, this is based on right now, the Padres would play the Cardinals in the 3-game series, and the Braves would play who's second? The Phillies in the first round wild card 3-game series, and they're all at the same place. So the Padres would have to play 3 games in St. Louis, and the Phillies would have to play 3 games in Atlanta. So the wild card team, the better team gets a benefit in that first round because all 3 games are played in the same destination.
Dumb that they're doing it that way.
No, I actually like it because it's better than a 1-game playoff because anything can happen in 1 game.
Well, yeah, but you're 1-game playoff off of the second and third wild card, and then you play a 3-game series.
Hold on, what's the 1-game playoff?
I mean, potentially it would be a 1-game playoff between number 2 and number 3 wild card, and then the 2 wild card positions would play a 3-game series to get into that 4th
Yeah,
spot.
but it incentivizes that 3rd wild card though.
Well, yeah, if you get into that 3rd wild card, then you have a 1-game series against the number 2 wild
But
card.
it incentivizes it more as like, in a 3-game series, a better team's always going to win. So like if you're the Padres, like you have a pretty good team, you know what I mean? Like you have a pretty good chance of winning 2 out of 3 against any of those teams. You have a fairly good chance. In 1 game, anything can happen. But I'm saying like that last wild card at this point, I'd rather face the Cardinals than face the Braves. Wouldn't you agree? And I know the Braves are coming off losing 4-5 to the Mets, but none of these teams are the Mets. I don't
know, man. I don't know if I'd take the Cardinals over the Braves. Cardinals just went in and swept the Yankees.
Yeah, but the Yankees are who we thought they were.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong. I mean, dude, I've been
issues too.
Ben, I've been saying for 2 months to bet the Cardinals will win the NL Central.
Yeah,
like, dude, 2 months ago it was like plus 350. Now it's minus 200. So I mean, like, dude, the value's like totally gone. We knew the Cardinals were better than the Brewers.
I don't know who I'd rather face. That's what I'm saying is I don't know if I'd rather face the Braves or the Cardinals.
Oh, I'd much rather face the Braves. To me, the Braves are a top 3 roster in baseball, top to bottom. Like, I think they're a better team top to bottom than the Mets. For sure, they're a better team. But the Mets just own them. The only thing the Mets have over them is DeGrom and Scherzer. But honestly, I would probably take the Mets top 4 starters over I would take the Braves top 4 starters over the Mets top 4 starters. Give me Fried, give me Kyle Wright, give me Strider, and give me Charlie Morton over Scherzer, DeGrom, and then, unknown Taijuan Walker, Chris Bassett. We could talk. The Mets have depth in their starting rotation, and they do have the 2 best pitchers, but Max Fried is nice. Strider's nice. Kyle Wright's very nice. These are very nice pitchers. And then the lineup, like, the Braves have a better lineup for sure. Austin Riley, Acuna Jr., Matt Olson needs to get his shit together, though. He really does. But they're a deeper lineup to me. The Mets just got guys playing over their head right now. Brandon Nimmo, Mark Canha, Vogelbach, Darren Ruff.
Looking at the schedule, man, Braves can catch the Mets.
But they still have to play the
schedule.
Mets.
They still have to. Atlanta and New York play 7 times still.
Yeah.
But then you look at what the Mets have left, and you look at what the Braves have left. The Braves can catch it.
How many games against the Marlins do the Braves have?
The Braves have. The Mets have 5. The Braves have. Holy shit. The Braves have 10.
Oh, that's pretty nice, dude.
Dude, the Braves have 6 against Washington, 2 against Oakland, 3 against Colorado, 3 against Pittsburgh.
Ooh, they got a pretty easy.
They got a pretty easy schedule, nice. But then you go over to the Mets, and you've got. I mean, the good thing of the Mets is they've got 7 against Pittsburgh, 3 against 6 against Washington, 4 against Colorado. But they've got the Yankees. They've got 7 against the Phillies. They've got 3 against the Dodgers, 3 against the Brewers.
Yeah, that's true. They haven't played the Phillies that much this year.
Like,
I feel like the Braves and Phillies play like every week.
yeah. So, I mean, the Mets, even though they're 6.5 games up right now on Atlanta can catch them.
Yeah, I also think there's like some regression due for their lineup. But I mean, they still have Lindor. They still have the Polar Bear Pete. And Starling Marte is nice too.
The Mets are gonna Mets. They always do. We know that.
They do, but I mean, like Ben, like they're playing really well right now. Like
And it's deeper than they normally are, but we're going to see the regression out of the Mets like we always do.
Man, like I went into this series.
I'm as confident with that as I am with Dylan Cease.
No way, dude. Dylan Cease is like,
but
he's probably gonna win the Cy Young at this point,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I wish I took that bet.
He's on a good pace. Nah, because like, dude, I came into this series and I was like, all right, Atlanta's 2.5 back, and they have 5 games against the Mets, dude. If they take 3 out of 5, like they're set up nicely going down the stretch. And like, I watch a lot of baseball, dude. I watch a lot of Mets and Braves games. And I think the Braves are a better team, dude. Like, I just think top to bottom, they're a much better team. And I was like, all right, they're going to take 3 out of 5, and they're going to be set up nice. No, dude. And again, they lose the Max Fried, Spencer Strider, Kyle Wright games.
Yeah. But, to go back to our comments earlier, like St. Louis is no slouch.
They're not, but I'd much rather play St. Louis than the Braves. The Braves are a better team than St. Louis, dude. Hands down. Plus, the Braves won a World Series, so they know what it's like, dude. Like,
yeah, St. Louis is in a pretty easy division.
Yeah, they're in the easiest division, bro. They get to play the fucking Cubs, Reds, and Pirates, dude.
Yeah.
We're talking 51 times.
The Braves have to play the Marlins and the Nationals, so
yeah, but the Marlins got 3 bona fide starters though.
That's true.
4 if you count
also 20 and a half games back. So
well, I mean, dude, the Marlins just can't hit, bro. Like it's bad, dude. Like it's so bad how they cannot hit. Like they are allergic to hitting.
Yeah,
bro, they're dead. Ben, they made Mike Minor look like Randy Johnson, dude. And Mike Minor had like a 7 ERA.
True.
They can't hit.
Yeah. And
that's a problem. That's why it's like, even if Sandy Alcantara goes out there and pitches 8 innings of 1-run ball, he loses, dude. He has to go out there and pitch it. Jesus Luzardo had a perfect game going through 5 1/3 today.
Yeah. And they lost.
No, they won 3-0, but that was like the first time someone got a. No, dude, the Marlins won.
Okay. Yeah.
Today they won. They lost the last 2 against the Cubs.
Yeah.
Ben's got to grab something real quick. Anyways, I personally think that it's I would much rather see the Cardinals than the Braves, for sure, without a doubt. Do you think that the Padres can make any noise though? What's their schedule look like closing it out?
Thought I just had this open. Padres.
Irvin said Ben with no hat.
Yeah.
First time I've seen that.
Not today. I just came back from dinner. That's why. Let's see. Yeah, man. All right. So 6-9 against San Francisco. Oh, they've got a pretty easy schedule. Well, they've got a pretty easy schedule. 9 against San Francisco, 7 against Washington.
Oh, that's right. They're going to Washington this week, huh?
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be
2 against Cleveland, 3 against Miami, 3 against Colorado, 3 against the White Sox. We got 6 more against. Oh no, sorry, 9 more against LA. They've got a pretty easy schedule. 2 against Seattle. 3
I also think the
St. Louis.
Dodgers are due for some regression, Ben.
Yeah.
Like
agreed.
They got like Tyler Anderson, who's like a career like 4.3 ERA pitcher.
13-1 this year.
Yeah, and then they got Andrew Heaney, who's like fucking dog shit for every team he's ever pitched for, but all of a sudden this guy's like unhittable, dude. Like,
yeah,
they're due for some regression, dude.
Yeah,
it's coming at some point. And then, like, honestly, I know Bellinger hit two home runs tonight, and Max Muncy hit a home run last night. But, like, those guys haven't been playing well all year. Maybe we could say that they're due to, like, play more like they do. But, I mean, who knows?
During playoffs time, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Dodgers are due for a little regression eventually.
Dodgers have an easy schedule, too. 2 against Minnesota, which isn't going to be that easy. But then they go into Kansas City. Then they've got 7 against Milwaukee.
But they have like a
7 against Miami.
The Dodgers have a lot of road games though, don't they? Left.
They have a lot of road games left. Yeah.
So that, I mean, you can get tired on a road trip.
The last 6 games are at home versus Colorado.
Oh, they could go 6-0 at the end.
How did that happen? Their last 6 games are against Colorado at home. Come on.
I mean, you never know, dude. The Pirates swept the Dodgers before.
And then they have 3 games in San Diego before that, and then they have 8 games at home before that. So
they got
need
schedule.
a lot of home cooking at the end of the
the Padres are not catching them in the division. The division's basically over.
Yeah, division is definitely over.
The Padres, they just got to make the playoffs.
Yeah, so let's look at that wild card, because I think the AL wild card hunt is a little bit more questionable than the NL.
Oh, the AL, I mean, we got like 7 teams that could possibly make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah.
It's tight.
So Toronto is up 2 games. Tampa Bay and Seattle are tied for the 2 and 3 spot. Then you've got Cleveland, Baltimore, Cleveland and Baltimore 2 games behind, Chicago 3 games behind, and the Red Sox 5 games behind. After that,
well, count the Red Sox out.
You think the Red Sox are out at 5?
Yeah, they're done. They can't pitch, dude. They have no pitching.
Okay.
Like, if you think the Padres have a bad pitching staff, bro, the Red Sox are like one of the worst pitching teams in the league. Their starting rotation, they're like 28th in starting ERA. Like, they're terrible.
So you think at 5 games out, they can't catch that number 3 spot?
Nah, there's no chance, dude.
Okay. So that leaves us with six people there. Toronto +2. Tampa Bay and Seattle are even because they've got the 2 and 3 spot tied. And then you've got Cleveland -2, Orioles -2, and the White Sox -3. Who gets those 3 spots?
Baltimore and Cleveland are only 1.5 out.
Has mine not reloaded since the game?
Maybe it's 2, but I'm pretty sure they're only 1.5 out.
I have it as 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is 2. I mean, if the Mariners are healthy, I honestly think the Mariners are the best wild card team.
Yeah, I think they take it.
And then,
I think Toronto and Seattle make it. I think there's just 1 spot left, and that's the Tampa Bay's spot.
Tampa, they can't hit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they have a major
There's too many
issue.
injuries.
Yeah, I think even healthy, like, their offense isn't that good. But really, injuries just make it even worse. Yeah. And then McClanahan has been struggling, dude, since in the last month. So if he's not right, that's not very good. They probably have, I mean, their bullpen's good. I mean, dude, there's just something special brewing in Baltimore, dude. I'm telling you, they're making the playoffs.
I still think Baltimore is a year away. I think Chicago makes it. They're only a game behind.
Bro, but every time we say that, dude, they lose like 2 in a row, dude, to teams they shouldn't. I mean, the White Sox.
I don't think the Guardians take it. I don't think the Rays take it. The Orioles could be it, but I think that the White Sox have a better team right now, on paper at least, than.
But it's August, and we keep saying
Orioles.
that the White Sox should be better on paper. I mean, like,
White Sox should be better.
I just don't know when we just like accept, like, okay, maybe this isn't who they were. You know what I mean? Like, Yohan Moncada is not playing well. Tim Anderson, he's been hurt. He's been having the up and down year. You know, their lineup and Eloy Jimenez.
They're the better team than Baltimore right now.
Oh, without a
Baltimore
doubt.
is
But
the hotter team. But
Baltimore just has something special brewing, dude.
Yeah, I still think I think Baltimore next year is going to be a team to mess with. I mean, I think it's tough because of the division that they're in, but I mean,
Oh, they're going to be a great team.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can definitely be number 2 in that division next year. But I just think it's a year too early, and I think it's a year to 2 years ahead of where they thought they were going to be.
Oh, for sure. But they're here, dude.
But yeah, I think they're going to be not even $1 short, of fucking quarter short this year.
Yeah, they may come up short, dude, but yeah. I don't think they're that far off.
Team.
But I definitely,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I definitely don't think that Tampa makes the playoffs at this point.
They're my team. I think that are going to be out. I think Toronto's still going to make it. I think the Mariners are still going to make it, and I think there's one spot available.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are disappointing, though. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, agreed.
I don't even.
But they're winning just enough to get by.
Yeah, and they have the best starting pitching, in my opinion.
Mm. All right, so let's look at the National League. We've got some, big question marks on, Atlanta. Are they going to take the division or not? But then we've got the Phillies and Padres. Atlanta's up 3.5 games. Phillies up 0.5 game. Padres are in that 3 spot. Then you've got the Brewers at 1.5. And then you've got the Giants at 6.5 back. I mean, is this a one-team race for that last spot between the Brewers and the Padres and the Phillies?
Or the Brewers are cooked, dude. They're not making the playoffs, in my opinion.
Do we think the Giants still have a shot 6.5 games back?
They're done. I think
we're pretty much set.
I think the wild card is set, dude.
Okay.
Because the only thing that could push Philly out is the fact that they have to play the Braves and the Mets.
Yeah.
But I expect them to win some of those games. They're not going to lose them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
the Brewers right now, when they traded Josh Hader, I honestly think that had a ripple effect in their locker room, dude. The players saw that and was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We don't think we can win? Is that what this is? What's going on? Because, dude, they just lost, 6 out of 7 against the Reds and Pirates, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, that's not good.
Yeah.
When you're in a division race. So I honestly think the Brewers are cooked, dog. I think honestly, this is the last of you see of this Brewers team. I think last year was probably their best shot.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to trade off anything of value, not named Christian Yelich, because I think his contract is unmovable.
Yeah.
So this offseason, you're going to see next year, we're going to see a whole different Brewers team, dude.
Yeah. No, it's unfortunate because they were pushing, but they were always so far away. Always had issues offensively when their pitching was.
Well, last year they had 3 guys in the Cy Young race, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Their pitching has always been on point.
But this year it hasn't been.
But it hasn't been bad. Let's see where
it hasn't been terrible, but Woodruff hasn't been Woodruff overachieved last year. He hasn't been the same. And then Peralta was hurt this year.
Yeah.
So they've been relying on
12th overall in pitching. But then you go to the batting.
And they're dead last. And they rely on home runs to score. They don't hit for average.
They're 8th overall.
Because they hit for power.
Yeah.
But they don't.
241 average. 9.5% walks, 23% strikeouts.
That's a high strikeout rate.
It is a high strikeout rate. 149 homers. They've hit a lot of homers this year.
That's the thing, is they rely on home runs.
Yeah.
They just don't. They rely on walks and home runs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hit for average. They don't generate runs. They don't steal bases. You know what I mean? So it's when that home run ball is not flying, and we've seen the same thing kind of with the Yankees, Ben, lately. The home run hasn't been flying. as much.
And regressing.
Yep.
A lot.
Yep.
Yep.
Both these teams generate over 65% of their offense from home runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the problem with being a home run team. That's why I said all year, since the beginning of the year, that the beneficial thing for the Dodgers this year is that they've been generating runs, not just off home runs. And last year, year before that, that was how they generated most of their runs, was power.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about our top 5 teams of the week. We didn't do it last week because Sunday's show got postponed, but what's your top 5 look like this week, Ben? Because I know both of us have some movement. And I think both of us have the same top 5 too.
Yeah, really?
I think
all right,
so.
So I have some major movement this week. To be honest, mine are all over the place from where I was previously. I think that our teams are the same, but our numbers are well off. So number 5 for me, I'm going to go with New York Yankees. One of the top teams in baseball with a 70-39 record, but they're on a 5-game losing streak, 4-6 in their last 10. Pitching has really dropped back down to earth with the 5th overall rank when they previously were number 1. And hitting, which was way ahead of everybody in the league, has now dropped to 2nd overall behind LA. So their regression is just, very, very big. And, that leads me to my number 4 team, which swept the Yankees this week. I was gonna flip them around, have St. Louis at number 5, and New York over at number 4. But because of the sweep this week, I'm gonna go St. Louis at number 4, 60-48 over the season. They're on a 7-game winning streak, 9-1 their last 10. Got to put them over the Yankees because they just swept them out 3 games in a row. Then we have the Houston Astros, who are 70-40 over their season. Probably the top AL team in my mind here, but 5-5 in their last 10, which has been really, really mediocre. And do expect them to really make a push for the final, third of the season that we have here. 110 games in. I'm really surprised that they're kind of in a lull right now. Number 2, we're going to go with the New York Mets, 8-2 in their last 10. Huge series win over the Braves this week, which I didn't envision them winning in. To be honest, like I said earlier, I'm really just waiting for the ball to drop here where the Mets lose out the rest of the season. I definitely think it can happen eventually. It's the New York Met way. We talked about the viral video of, when do you hate the Mets the most? And that's August and September. And I think that's
you said May to September.
May to September, well, but really August to September. So it's going to be a tough run. But right now they are winning games. So I cannot push them down quite yet. I do expect a free fall coming up. But number 1 overall, LA Dodgers, 74-33, 8-game winning streak, 9-1 in their last 10. Swept the Padres, outscoring them 20-4. Outscored the Giants 25-10. 2nd overall in pitching. They've got the number 1 ERA, number 1 in walks over 9. They're top 3 in basically every other category in pitching here. And then their batting isn't a slouch either. 1st overall, tied for average lead with the Mets, I think at 259. Top OBP, tied for the league in slugging. Its Dodgers team is definitely impressive. It pains me to say it, but it's true.
Yep,
they're the best team in baseball.
They are. So number 5, I have this St. Louis Cardinals. They're 2 games up on the Brewers at this point, but man, it's been the NL Central is just dog shit, dude. I hate this division, man. But Cardinals are definitely the best team in that division. Number 4, I got the Yankees. They're 70-39, but we've been calling for their regression, and it's starting to happen. 3.8 ERA in the last 2 weeks, and 12th in runs scored in the last 2 weeks. They lost 2 in a row to the Mariners, and they got swept by the Cardinals 5 in a row. This team, Ben, they got some issues that they gotta get out. They gotta figure it out. Number 3, I got the Houston Astros. They have been struggling offensively, but that pitching is still like really solid, dude. I mean, they lost 1-0 today. Christian Javier pitched a gem. They just couldn't score, and that's an issue. Number 2, I got the New York Mets. Still rolling with them. I was I came out of the Mets Brave series looking more positive about the Mets, than I was anything about the Braves. Like I still think the Braves top to bottom are one of the best teams in baseball, but the Mets are a problem, man. Like you just can't explain what this team is doing. They don't have like a great lineup on paper, but they just are great baseball players. I just don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Like they're a solid team. Then they get DeGrom back. DeGrom, 12 strikeouts in 5 innings today. Had a perfect game through 5 1/3 until he gave up a walk and a home run. Just phenomenal stuff from the Mets this weekend. And then I got the Dodgers number 1. Dodgers numero uno.
Yep.
Definitely number 1.
Let's go, y'all.
All right, we got any best bets for Monday, Ben?
Yeah, I got 2 here going. So the first one that we're going to do is we're going to look at the Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. As much as I do think that the Mets are going to free fall, it's not going to be against this Red team who is absolutely horrible. You've got Chris Bassett up on the hill going up against Jay Dunn, who hasn't had a start since 2021. So it's a little bit of a time for him to.
He's a former number one draft.
It is a former number 1 draft pick, but he has not been really that great. You look at the way that the season has played out. Cincinnati is only batting .239, while the Mets are at .259. And you look at their performances home and away. You've got the Mets at home 35-18 going against the Reds, who are 20-31. You're going to get horrible numbers here on the money line. So I think it's at minus 292 right now. So you definitely have to be looking at the run line here, which is at minus 1.5 here. You're looking at, I believe it's at minus 125 for this game. So not your normal minus 110 here,
there, dude.
But I think you can definitely take that and make a little money off of that. So we're going to go Mets minus 1.5 runs here. Game 2. We are going to be going your Baltimore Orioles hosting the Toronto Blue Jays here. You got to look at the home record here, where where Baltimore is 31-22 at home, absolutely raking it home, while the Blue Jays are 26-27. Although the Blue Jays are batting on average higher than the Baltimore Orioles are, that is a big percentage of their home at bats compared to their away at bats. So you definitely have to look at this. Baltimore is favored in this game, but I think you can definitely look at run line to get an even better value. So we're gonna go by Baltimore. I believe it's plus 1.5 runs over the Orioles here.
You're on Toronto plus 1.5?
No, I'm sorry. Baltimore plus 1.5.
Baltimore plus 1.5.
Hold on, let me check this really quick because I don't.
No, Baltimore is definitely the dog.
Baltimore is the dog here. Yeah. So Baltimore plus 1.5 runs to give you a little bit of a cushion here.
Yeah, but what's that at? Like minus 160, minus 180?
Baltimore minus 1.5.
No, plus 1.5. If you take the all line minus 1.5, you're probably getting like plus 200.
Baltimore plus 1.5. Line is not up right now, which is why I'm taking the plus 1.5.
All right. I mean, it's not bad if it's good value. You know what I mean? I got one best bet for tomorrow, and that's the Oakland Athletics money line over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Cole Irvin is on the bump for the A's, and he has been absolutely phenomenal in the last month. In 6 starts, he's pitched 40 innings and only given up 9 earned runs, which is a 2.03 ERA. But more importantly, at home throughout this entire season, he has a 1.73 ERA. He's a great home pitcher. Obviously, the Oakland Coliseum plays well to pitching. The A's are 9-7 since the All-Star break, and the Angels are 17th in WRC plus versus left-handed pitching on the road. Angels have been one of the worst teams in baseball since May. Give me the A's minus 125 here.
Trying to find what that big is for Baltimore plus 1.5.
I can tell you right now. Give me 1 second.
Don't see it up right now.
Let's see. Minus 118. That's not bad.
No, I'll take that. Definitely take that. All right, so it is time for us to move away from sports, and we are going to move to beer. As you know, I had that not so great one for as my first beer, but the
What are you
second one
ranking
is
it?
definitely a little bit better. Before we get to that, we're going to go over to Jordan's to see how his cider was at first, and then how his dessert was for the second beer. Give us a ranking out of 5.
The cider was really good. I mean, obviously it was like overwhelmingly sweet. Like I'm not sure I would drink like a ton of them. But it was good, dude. For sure, it was good. I would drink it. I would buy it again. I'm gonna give it a 4.25 out of 5. The second one, the Slang de Jour. This one it's heavy, dude. Like it's thick. It is it's got a great taste though. I mean, I would drink it again, but like as far as like drinking this, like it's one and done, dude. You know what I mean? Like not even because there's a high alcohol percentage, but just because it's so heavy, dude. It's like drinking a smoothie.
Agreed with mine on this dessert beer. So I feel you on that.
All right, well, what's your rankings? Let me hear about that first one.
I had the Boom Boom Outgoes the Light. So this was the High Water Brewing coming out of Lodi. I give this one 1 point. I'm gonna drop it down from 1.5 out of 5 to 1 out of 5. I really did not like this beer.
Pile of shit.
So this was this was an 8.5% beer, and you did taste the high alcohol percentage there, but really that galangal root really overpowered the beer, and it overpowered it in a negative way. You couldn't taste the apple, you couldn't taste the salt at all. All you tasted was this weird, earthy, bitter root taste, and it really overpowered things. And it's been a long time since I poured out a beer, and I poured this one out, so we're gonna go 1 out of 5 on this, 20%.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yep. The second beer that I had was from the brewery. This is one that you can find on Devour. It does pop up every once in a while here. And this was the Banana Nut Muffin, their kind of bakery series. And this was an imperial stout with banana, walnut, and vanilla. So this was 8.1%. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I thought this was a really good stout. It was motor oil thick. It was definitely one, as you said with your dessert beer, this is one that you can drink one of. To be honest, I would even share it with somebody, and kind of just go with the 8 ounces here. But it was really good. You got a little bit of that banana, a little bit of that walnut flavoring there, but nothing overpowered it. You could still really taste that stout. It was smooth, it was milky, and for not being a big stout fan, this was one that I will drink. So I was a big fan of this. I definitely suggest going out and trying this banana nut muffin. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the way that things ended here.
I'm interested about that because I'm not a big stout fan, but that does sound like, what's the word I'm looking for, Ben? It sounds
it's appetizing.
Appetizing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely go check it out, Jordan. I'll pick you up one, and I'll have it sitting here.
I like the brewery, dude. They kill it.
Yep.
Hey,
very, very happy with that.
When's the last time you watched Netflix?
Yesterday.
Have you watched the Woodstock documentary yet?
I haven't.
Dude, it's really good.
Okay.
Especially because, like, I remember
I've been watching one that's just not on Woodstock, but I've been watching The Bear.
Oh, dude. Great show. Great show.
So yeah, and and I've got the lady started on Mandalorian, so I'm going through all those. I know you're not a big Star Wars fan, but started on Mandalorian, going through those. So that's
Bear though. You got me.
Yeah,
that's a good one, dude.
I'll go over to the Woodstock show afterwards.
It's interesting because like I remember watching it on MTV2.
Yep.
Or MTV. You know what I mean? Like back when we were that young. In middle school, and I didn't like fully understand what was going on, and you watch the documentary and like it was chaos, dude.
Yeah,
it was absolute fucking chaos.
Yeah.
So I'm watch it, dude, because I want to know what you think. It was interesting.
I'll watch it this week, and I'll come back next week with an AC/DC beer, that collaboration beer that I saw.
Bro,
I
AC/DC
didn't
is
get
like
it, but
not Woodstock 99, but
no, I know, but
it's still rock and roll.
yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
Exactly.
Woodstock 99 was more about new metal, dude. Limp Bizkit and Korn and all that stuff.
All right.
This is not
So,
Limp Bizkit.
everybody out there, thank you for listening to the Taproom Sports Podcast. Definitely check us out all week. We're going to be on, again, on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday. For Monday and Wednesday shows, Jordan is going to be joined by Swerve and Irvin, and then I'm going to be back on Tuesday's show. We've got a ton of sports to talk about this week. College football, MLB. I'm sure we'll have some basketball news, maybe some hockey news thrown in there a little here and there. Make sure to go to Tavour or Tavour.com, download the Tavour app, use promo code TAPROOM when signing up, and get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more.
Yes,
Make sure to
sir.
check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Make sure to check out the website, www.taproomsportspodcast.com. But really, press that subscribe button. Follow us on all of those channels,
Yes.
and you'll enjoy it. You definitely will. We're going to be coming up pretty soon with a giveaway for all you beer fans and for all you sports fans to get you all linked up on our YouTube. For all of those watching on Facebook and YouTube Live, thank you. We appreciate it. For all those who aren't, definitely check that out. We do it every night, Sunday through Wednesday. But
Yep.
that's it. Jordan, we'll see you tomorrow. I will see you back on Tuesday. And I hope you all have a great start of the week.
Let's go.
For Jordan, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks Lads, I'm Big Ball and Ben Larson. We are out of here.
Let's get this money.
Cheers.